So I found this post on the Pokemon TCG subreddit that I wanted to share with you all. This has been said for so long now. I feel like every single set that comes out, people say the same thing, yet it never becomes true. Now, if you keep saying it long enough for years and years on end, will eventually be correct? Probably. But at least for now, and what we see in the near future, I feel like when people make statements like this, it's a little bit misleading and somewhat delusional if you look at recent history. And I am not trying to encourage you guys if you really don't want to buy at these prices, especially if you're just trying to collect. I'm not encouraging you to spend whatever the going market rate is for these products. If you can't afford it, if it's not worth it for you, don't buy. Even investing wise, if it's not worth it for you, you look at it and it's too expensive. I'm not trying to tell you it's a good investment, a good buy right now for your collection. None of that stuff. But just people that are saying these certain things, it comes off the wrong way to me. It's just misleading because we literally don't have any real proof of any of this stuff really happening, at least for the last year. So this person says, PSA, don't feed the scalpers on the new Mega Evolution set. Patience will be rewarded. Obviously, Mega Evolution is expensive. I mean, what hasn't been expensive in this whole bull market? Ever since Prismatic Evolutions, everything has been expensive. So this person's saying not to feed into the scalpers, the S word that everyone likes in this whole space now, scalper, scalper, scalper. Well, get it. Patience will be awarded, apparently. So let's hear their argument. I'm not going to read every single word here, but let's see what they have to say. I know the hype for the new Mega Evolution set is through the roof. The cards look incredible. Already seen the usual suspects. Listings for booster boxes at $300 plus. Elite Trainer boxes being snatched up, and a general sense of FOMO kicking in. I feel like people don't even really use this word anymore because is it really FOMO at this point? It's literally been a whole year. It's not like it's been a couple of months. It's not like it's just been one or two sets that have been popular. It's been like this for a year now. So is it really FOMO? I don't know. But you click buy it now on that massive inflated listing. Let's take a collective breath and think this through from a logical standpoint. Okay, this is the base set of a brand new series. It is in the Pokemon company's best interest to print this into oblivion. So I've actually, talked about this point before. That with base sets, it seems like usually, I mean, they print like a decent amount of it, and it just seems like that is in their best interest, especially for the card game. Like that makes sense. I've talked about this before, so maybe it's true. But there's other factors we have to consider. Now in this market, there's so many other sets they have to print. Will they just focus on this one and then everything else skyrockets? It's hard to say. Think about it from their perspective. The Mega Evolution set isn't a special limited run set. It's the foundational set for the entire next block of the Pokemon TCG. Its success is crucial for the long-term health of the game and their profits for the next couple of years. Here's why a massive print run is not just likely but practically guaranteed. So first of all, I don't really like this use of words, practically guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in this space. We can make good guesses, but to say it's practically guaranteed, I think gives maybe some high hopes to people, maybe thinking that this 100% is going to happen or very close to 100%. Well, in fact, we don't know anything, right? But I do agree there are some valid points being made here. It is the first set of the next block for the TCG game. It is important, so I do agree with this statement, but I don't think it's practically guaranteed that a massive print run is going to happen with this specific set, and it's going to crash in price. They need player engagement, so I'm not going to read all this. We're just going to read the bold parts here. They need player engagement. What they said here, basically, it's the foundational card pool. Same thing. Recent precedent shows they will reprint. Nobody see. Here's the thing: what people don't understand. Nobody argues, at least from my perspective, nobody argues that they won't reprint. It's the volume they will reprint and when they reprint. If they reprint a booster box, for example, when it's $400 or $500, what's the chance of that going to MSRP? Let's use the example of Destined Rivals. Do we truly think that a booster box of Destined Rivals at $450, if they reprint it, it's going to go down to MSRP at $161? Does that seem realistic? Not really, right? So I don't think anyone is arguing that they won't. It's like, okay, if we're talking about this MSRP price point, some of these products are so expensive and they're so high in demand, I mean, is it really realistic that it's going to drop, like say for example 450 to 161? That's about a 200, what, almost 300, that's like about a $300 drop. Is that realistic? Not really. So I've never argued that they won't reprint. Like for example, I say Prismatic Evolutions, they will continuously reprint it, but you have to think about what products will they reprint and the volume when they of the, what they reprint, and just when. Why waiting is your best move. Scalpers rely on impatience. So, yes, scalpers buy off retail shelves, they flip it on Facebook Marketplace, and they hope somebody buys it, I guess from them quickly. A lot of them maybe don't have money to actually hold onto the stuff. That's true, right? Scalpers, usually they don't, hold it long term. So I guess in that sense, they do rely on impatience. But, if they hold for even maybe a month or so, there may be no supply in the market. And in terms of impatience, I mean, if there's none left and people still want it, I mean, what are you going to do? You will find this at MSRP. So you can see how many statements they make here that just, I don't know, it just comes off the wrong way. Will you find this at MSRP? I mean, there's people that have never even seen Prismatic Evolutions on shelves before. And Prismatic Evolutions has been restocked many, many times over the months after it's been released, and some people still have never found it. Some people have never found any product, in fact, on shelves since like Surging Sparks. So, a lot of things being said here, I feel like it's just misleading. I know, they're trying to say, oh, just don't buy at the inflated prices. Like, you can say that. I get that perspective and argument. Like, sure, you can say it's too expensive. I'm not going to disagree, right? But to give this sort of false hope, this false narrative of, oh, everything's going to be okay, guys, just wait, and wait. If you look at the, timeline of the, the whole bull market, and you look at all the sets that have been released, this whole waiting thing, in terms of investing, because I don't like to talk about the collecting side, because collecting side, is it worth it to you or not, right? We're not talking about numbers here in terms of are they going to go up? If you're just collecting, do you have the money? Is it worth it for you? That's the only thing you have to worry about in collecting. Other than that, in investing, this whole wait for MSRP, this wait thing doesn't work. So that's the I guess what I'm trying to say here is, for people that are trying to invest, that are listening to people like this and they're seeing all these arguments being made, none of this stuff has really ever happened, right? Or I mean, just you look at recent history, the whole, I guess, idea that just be patient, it's all gonna be okay, it just hasn't worked, and I feel like a lot of people that have said this a year ago and have said this for every single set, you look at what all these sets are now compared to where you could have bought them at, you probably would have done better if you just bought instead of listening to people saying just to wait and wait. Because it gets to a point where there's so many sets that are so expensive, what can Pokemon really do about everything? Don't let a short-term burst of hype trick you into paying 100 to 300% markup to someone whose only contribution is clearing a shelf before you could get to it. Let's not make the same mistakes we've made with past sets. TLDR, the Mega Evolution set is the start of a new era. Pokemon Company needs to make it accessible. They will print it heavily. Be patient. Don't pay scalper prices, and you will get your cards at MSRP. So you guys can leave in the comments below what you guys think about this. Do you think this person has some valid points? Do you agree with them? Personally, I mean, I agree with, this is the start of a new block. They are maybe more enticed to print a base set where, the card game and stuff, that, is a big component, like a new block, sure. But it just seems like it's a bit improbable that they're going to print it to the point where you're going to get an MSRP. I just don't know if that's really highly probable. Yeah, I've been waiting since Surging Sparks. People kept saying it didn't die down after the 2021 or 2020 thing. It absolutely did. Surging Sparks is when things took a turn. At some point, it'll go back down to being accessible, but who knows when. We'll see if this is true, that it will go back down to the point where it's accessible, where things are MSRP or below. We'll see if that happens. It's possible, but who knows when. I can't even find Destined Rivals to this day. I refuse to buy Prismatic at anything more than MSRP, and I've now got more than enough. Just sit and it will come around. How? I've had the same mindset, but I can't find anywhere. Any restock I can get into, I never managed to grab. So, more than enough. I mean, it depends, right? I mean, I'm assuming they probably got a lot of their stuff at Costco and Sam's Club. But just saying to sit around and it'll come around, like, I don't know. There's a lot of people that have had different experiences. I agree people should not pay these ridiculous prices, but one of your TLDR reasons doesn't matter. Pokemon does not need it to be accessible. It's already a success. Everything they print sells. I mean, that's another point to be made, right? They've had a year to make it accessible, have not shown to take any drastic measures at all. These posts are a waste of time. Nothing changes until people take a break from the hobby. We're in an unprecedented run of FOMO. I think Pokemon will raise MSRP on premium products like ETBs and booster boxes. Thanks ChatGPT. Yeah, I know. Based on the format, it's probably ChatGPT. I mean, it was kind of obvious. Uh, People probably said that about Destined Rivals, and now it's 400 plus a box. If you want to open packs, booster boxes aren't the play. Look for booster bundle sleep packs. So, what do you guys think about this? Do you think you should wait and maybe Mega Evolution is a different scenario because it is a base set? Maybe they're more inclined to print more of it, or do you think it's going to be a similar situation with other booster boxes, where booster boxes don't get heavily reprinted? They may print ETBs, booster bundles, all these other products, but maybe booster boxes will never get super cheap. So, what do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.